Vicar. Good morrow, Mr. Thompson. Wonderful presentation on the history of the church at the local public school yesterday, Vicar. Quite kind of you to say, Mr. Thompson. A bit surprising, however, that a bevy of belligerent brats pelted you with putrid plums whilst calling you, what was it again? An enemy of the wumbly-jumbly-bumbly community. Right. And what exactly is that, Vicar? Well, as I'm told, some of them are wumblies, some of them are jumblies, and some of them are part-time bumblies with adjacent wumbly-jumbly tendencies. Rather uncertain I am as to what exactly all this is, but it seems to have a deeply anti-Christian origin. Why say you that, Vicar? Because their teacher kicked me in the kidneys and informed all of them that the Christian church was chiefly responsible for preserving systemic oppression against the humbly-wumbly-jumbly-chumbly family. Chumbly, you say? Is that a new one? Yes, Mr. Thompson. They add a new umbly every 15 minutes. I see. Well, a terrific tragedy that the children of this secular school harbour such hostility to the church and to the Lord whose mercy they clearly know not. If only there were some way we could make a good confession to them. Well, Mr. Thompson, you could increase your financial support of our Christian schools so that, via scholarship, we could offer a worthwhile education to students currently enslaved to the wumbly-jumbly-bumbly-chumbly-gumbly ideology. I meant a way that doesn't require me to spend money. Very well, I suppose you could start an after-school program at the church. I also meant a way that doesn't require me to spend effort. Right. And it seems we're out of options. Tragic, I say. Spectacularly sorrowful indeed. Wait a minute, Vicar, I've just had an evangelistic epiphany. Do you remember the famous story of the 13th century shepherd boys who majestically led an army of little ones into the Islamic Empire in order to convert them to the one true faith? Why, of course. Remind me, though, Mr. Thompson, was it a success? Supremely successful, Vicar, not counting the half of them that perished along the way and the other half who were immediately sold into slavery upon arrival in Tunisia. Now, considering how effective this prepubescent mission to hostile unbelievers was, certainly our children can find even greater success converting the enemies of Christ today, if only we remove them from our Christian schools and send them into the public ones, whereupon they shall win their teachers and friends for the Lord. Mr. Thompson, are you seriously suggesting that we take a bunch of itty-bitty little lambs, deliberately deprive them of the explicit Christian education necessary to make such a difficult confession, and then throw them head first into the mouth of the Christ-hating, wumbly-jumbly-humbly-chumbly-humbly-fumbly-dumbly-gumbly beast while we kick back and watch from a safe distance? Yes. Why, that's brilliant. Go, my children, win souls for the Lord. Oh, you little ones who have been designed by God to love and follow your authorities, defy your teachers. When they speak, interrupt them with 45-minute-long lectures on presuppositional apologetics, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to expect of a 7-year-old. That was a disaster, was it? How many children did we convert away from the first church of Jumbly, Humbly, Fumbly, Wumbly, Dumbly, Gumbly, Pumbly, Mumbly, Flablablabla? 7. And how many did we lose to the other side? 7. Ah, so a wash then. Million. What's that? We lost 7 million children, Vicar, including 6 of your 7 little ones. But that's preposterous. Certainly the children of inferior Christians would have benefited from staying in our church school, but as a super-duper Christian infinitely more skilled at guiding my infinitely more pious children through this dark world, I had plenty of evidence indicating my children would have fared much better. What kind of evidence, Vicar? Willful blindness and smug self-righteousness, mainly. Ah, yes. So then, Mr. Thompson, what should we do now, having doofishly caused the defection of our children's generation to the cult of wumbly jumbly humbly fumbly gumbly dumbly humbly flably flabberly flubly flabberly? Is that what it's called now? Nope, just having a stroke. Please call the doctor. Samly flambly 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 flubly flably. Go, ye heroes, go to glory, though ye die in combat glory. Ye shall live in song and story, go to immortality, go to death, and go to slaughter. Well, Vicar, seeing our error, I quickly re-enrolled my children in the church school. However, they will have to enter the real world at some point, and I do worry that they won't be prepared when that day arrives, since, as everyone knows, Christian schools are blissfully bereft of worldliness and sin. Blustering bumblebees, Mr. Thompson, I heard the very same lament this morning from one of our school students, Henry Humphrey Higginbottom. Which one is he again? Why, he's our valedictorian. Also the one who sells opium in the school bathroom. Ah, yes, wonderful chap.